G'day folks, how's it going? Welcome to the road to the showdown. We're here for night number 21. 3 full weeks of action is taking place after tonight, and well, we're into the home stretch and that'll start tomorrow, but round number 6 also starts tonight. We are going to be kicking off with a lot of explosive action. Starting off the night, we've got Miss Blake Monroe, Blakey, doing battle against Charlotte Flair. A win for Monroe will lock her into the road to the showdown. Anything else and it's carnage. Because Flair will also reach 10 points. She won't be locked just yet, but she's could make this a really interesting group if she gets a count-out victory. Next bout on the docket, it's Roman Reigns and Tony D'Angelo. Those two doing battle in the Teal League. D'Angelo on the up and up, Reigns on the climb as well. Roman looking to lock in his place at the showdown. Afterwards, we take a little trip over to the Gold League, where we have Rocky B and Will Ospreay doing battle. That's going to be an epic matchup. And then lastly, your main event, it's Lyra Valkyria versus Utami Hayashishita. And if Lyra wins, she's locking in that spot at the showdown. What a night that we could see. Going to potentially see lock-ins as well as eliminations. And that could be an absolute belter of a night to come. So why don't we start off with a match that can see lock-ins. That's right. It's Blake Monroe and Charlotte Flair going toe-to-toe inside a beautiful Teal League. I'm not even ready. There we go. Welcome inside the underground. First out, it's someone we need to bow down to because it's time to all hail the Queen. Well, I did say last night that I would be doing a little bit of math checking after we finished round 5, and we actually did gain a new star joining a lot of stars at the showdown right now. That being Obafemi, who's confirmed his spot at the showdown. And there are some stars that are technically eliminated, but it's going to come down to if they win here in round 6. For their full elimination. It is basically out of their control as to if they make it or not. One of those stars is reliant on a Flair loss tonight, and that's Momo Watanabe, as well as Lainey Reed. While not eliminated, they require a Flair loss and them to win the last 2 rounds. They also require... That's wrong. What am I on about? Flair's in the other division, you muppet. For this matchup, Flair currently sits Flair sits in 6th. So if Flair wins, that will actually eliminate Oh, no, it won't. What am I on about? Where am I getting my facts from? We already know Vaquer's out of it. Win here, though, for Blake. Will Locker into the showdown. Would keep Flair out of top spot, though. That's what I mean. Charlotte would not be able to catch the glamour. Monroe would reach 14 points, which overall is quite a nice tally for her first showdown. And overall, it's a really solid run against a really tough stack of competition. The glamour, she's been dominant. Can she keep the dominance going? Let's see as we kick off our opener here tonight. It's the glamour versus the queen. Now, what I am thinking, though, is if Flair wins here, it will require Becky Lynch to win both her matches to stay in the hunt. That's what I'm thinking. Because right now, Lynch currently sits on 5 points. She is sat in 7th in this division. So, as it stands, if Flair wins, Lynch loses, then it's mathematically impossible for our current Ruby Belt champion to make it to the showdown. She is reliant on a couple of other results also going her way, but for elimination, really does need Flair to lose. She also requires at least one of the stars stuck on 9 points to lose as well. That's another interesting story that is building, is the amount of stars stuck on 9. We are almost guaranteed a tiebreaker matchup or tiebreaker results to happen. Currently, looking in at this match, Monroe dishing out them stiff knees. Flair has not got an answer to them just yet. And it's getting put up on top. Flair fighting back. Scoopy doopy up onto Monroe. Puts it down. Out of head scissors. No Booker T maneuver just yet. That will come in due time. But if you're a lot of these stars, you're kind of hoping that Vaquer picks up some momentum in the last 2 matches. Vaquer has to face Lady Flemmer. Last match of round 6, and then first match of round 7, she's up against Charlotte Flair. So if you're Becky Lynch, you're kind of reliant on the Queen's losses to some, I'd say, not necessarily weaker competition, but competition it's not stepped up to the plate. Charlotte lining up Monroe, goes and hits that big time spear, cutting her in half. Glamour down. Flair looking to punish, hooks the leg, going to turn it into a figure 4 leg lock. Applied in deep and bridge him back. Crikey O'Reilly. Flair's got it in deep. Will the Glamour tap out? Answer to that is obviously a no. Not yet, anyway. Monroe. The response, an Irish whip. And a little side walk. Spinning slam. Puts down Flair, who rolls to the outside. My accent slowly blending into something else. I feel my actual voice sneaking in as well. Right now, the glamour all cannot follow it up. The shot blocked. Flair returning to the ring. Little nasally it is, really. Flair ascends the Queen, looking to fly. And she does, connecting with a crossbody. Down goes the glamour for only a moment, but it's going to reset the count. And here's a big Kamigoya, but it's cut. Spear also missing. Flair can't connect. And Blake returns Charlotte to the ring. Springboard action. Dropkick falls short. Flair capitalizes with an Irish whip. A drop down. The referee, Big Man Lennon, really wants to get involved with Blake. Runs right into her. Stopping Charlotte's initial offense. But it doesn't stop her from getting the shoulder breaker in the pin. And that's that. Well, in the interest of insanity, Charlotte makes it to 10 points. She's not locked yet either. Blake's not locked. No one is goddamn locked in this division. The worst result possible for getting locks. Locks? Locks. I can't say the word lock. Getting locks. There we go. Crikey.
Here is your winner, Charlotte Flair.
Well, the Queen gets the dub. And carnage along the way as well. That does make it a very difficult task for Bex to qualify. She's not worried about that after tonight. She needs to look forward to her next matchup. Becky will be in action. When is Becky in? 2 nights from now. And oh no. She's up against Fatal Influence's own Fallon Henley. That's the matchup of the week if I've ever seen one. British co-main event on Tuesday night. Then Becky's last match. That doesn't come until Friday night against the Empress. So 2 stars that are currently trapped on 9 points. If Becky wins both of them, that could be some insane comeback into this division. But we're not focused on that now. The action now spills to the men's Pink League, where we have Tony D'Angelo versus the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns. I can do it in the Aussie accent, but for some reason my brain keeps wanting to say Roman Reigns in just a deep voice. A bit weird. It's a bit weird that I'm also keeping this voice going through several matches now. Regardless of that, let's kick it over to the ring for your second bat of the afternoon. A little bit of an afternoon flurry. 3:30 as well. Beautiful with the heat. I've had to have the window open, which does create an awkward sound, but who gives a crap? My health and safety is more paramount than
The following is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from Chicago, Illinois, weighing in at 240 pounds, Tony D'Angelo.
and the background noise of a live stream. But yeah, let's kick it up into high gear. Let's talk Pink League. Let's talk Tony D and Roman Reigns. We've got enough time to do so in the longest entrance in the goddamn game. Tony D'Angelo, Champ Slayer, aficionado, finds himself on 6 points. Roman on 9. A win for Tony D gets him tied with Roman. Reigns would lock in his spot at the showdown with a nice big old win. And I just need to double check my facts on that one. Yeah. So the top 5 as it stands: Drew McIntyre, Obafemi, Roman, Okada, Tony D, and Rollins. Now, I did name more than 5 people. I named 6. Because they're tied, it'll come down to tiebreakers.
Weighing in at 265 pounds, the OTC, Roman Reigns.
And I'm just looking at my records. I believe that Rollins and Tony D did end with Rollins winning it. Indeed he did. So tiebreaker currently sits with Seth freaking Rollins. So every point does matter for Tony D'Angelo. So a win against the other member of the Shield in this tournament would mean that D'Angelo takes one step up in the rankings. He would also own the tiebreaker over Reigns, so he would slip up into 3rd, I believe, based on this win. Yeah, this is a closely fought battle for top 5. I'm honestly glad we've this year expanded it to 5. Does mean that we get a little bit more action. We get a little bit more down to the wire in terms of who makes it and who doesn't. Which, surprisingly, we only have 1 star eliminated from the entire thing right now. Yes, there are some circumstances that mean that certain stars are very much result reliant on if they make it or not. And one of them results actually is tonight. So, I did say that Momo Watanabe is not eliminated. It's reliant on a result tonight going her way. That result being the main event, Utami versus Lyra. If Utami wins, obviously not much changes in terms of qualification status for the Red Queen. She's already made it. But if Lyra loses, it means that Momo has a chance of qualifying. As it stands, Momo has lost the tiebreaker result to Julia. She's also lost the tiebreaker to Lyra, but if Lyra cannot pick up a win, or Julia cannot pick up a win in the last 2 bats, means that there's a chance for Momo to make it. That would be massive for the Black Peach. The reason it can happen is Momo has a maximum points of 9 she can reach. 2 stars gatekeeping that 5th spot are currently sat on 8 points. As we look at the entire division, Got Liv Morgan in first seed. She needs to win one more match, and then that's confirmed. Then you have Utami, who's locked in as well. So your top two, they're almost all locked. You then have Bailey on 9. Momo could tie the rankings with Bailey. This isn't me also saying that Alexa and Lainey are out of it as well. They both can do the same thing, but Alexa's got that little leeway with the extra point from a loss. But Bailey's always going to finish the highest seed over Momo. And I believe that Bailey versus Lainey, I should say, hasn't happened yet. But Bailey versus Lainey. Where is it? Where is it in my docket? Bailey Lainey. It ended with Lainey beating Bailey. So there is a chance that Lainey finishes third seed overall, which would be Bonza. Anyway, focusing back on this Pink League matchup. Reigns looking to lock in. Leapfrog's over. Soup attempted. D'Angelo evades, but he cannot evade for long as straight back into the clutches of Reigns, who busts him open in the corner. Short arm lariats. And then a big one. Dropping D'Angelo. Only D. He needs to find something. That might be the something. Hooks up Reigns. Northern Lights suplex with the bridge. Going to turn it into a little neck breaker. Down goes the former world champion. Remember, D'Angelo is a champ slayer, and a spine buster might just do it. Cover for 1, 2. Kick out there. D'Angelo picked his moment to perfection. He's got Roman on the ropes, but he needs a little more. He drops the elbow. Big shot. Right across the throat. But Reigns fighting back to his feet. It could be amazing to see Tony D just beating every former champion and champion. D'Angelo, a little hidden gem of this division, it feels like. Oh! Big time spear. And it's not Reigns. It was Tony D who connected with it. My word, crikey. I'm fired up now after that one. A count of 8. Reigns, he's not looking to toss Tony D into the ring. What's he doing here? You're just walking with him. A count of 9. No. Ref, count the 10. Count the 10. He does. What in the world? Tiny dude. My man. 2 points to the 9. I've got to highlight that as the matchup of the week. What a tear this man's been on.
Here is your winner, Tony D'Angelo.
2 points to D'Angelo. And sure, Reigns reaches 10. He's not out of the woods just yet. He still could be out of contention for this division. But Tony D, what a win. It's almost guaranteeing him a spot. He needs to win his last matchup, though, to probably do it. My word. I'm actually not sure if Reigns is locked or not. He may have just locked in based off of the 1 point. That I'm uncertain of. Let's look at our next bat. What in the world? What in the absolute world is going on today? For some reason, I decided to wake up and turn Australian. I can't even keep a straight face. Anyway, straight face ain't needed for your co-main event. As Will Ospreay looks to keep his road going up against the beast Brock Lesnar. He walks away victorious here in the Gold League. Let's send it to that lovely ring and find out the answer. What up, people in the chat? How are you? This isn't my normal voice, so don't worry about it. I've lost my will in the heat. You know how it is. Anyway, let's talk Brocky B. Lesnar stuck on 6 points here tonight. Surprisingly in the top 5 based on tiebreakers. Let's talk about this Gold League. Also, bang.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Minneapolis, Minnesota, weighing in at 286 pounds, Brock Lesnar.
Now, what I'll say is, this division's actually a little bit spicy. So Lesnar, if he wins tonight, he puts potentially a star out of commission. There's 1 second before we get to that. Bang. Fuck. I had the flames instead of the pyro. 1 sec. It's a bit delayed. Bang. There we go. The minimum qualification points in this Gold League is 12. That's the absolute minimum to make it to the showdown. As Cena, who is currently set in 6th, the maximum amount of points he can get to is 11. 12 would be your cutoff. That will shrink down if Cena loses his next match. It'll, in fact, go down to a nice and crispy 8 points. I can do math in my head. So a win tonight for Lesnar is paramount.
And his opponent from London, England, weighing in at 191 pounds, the prestigious World Champion,
Will Ospreay. He's in the same sort of boat as Cena. He needs a maximum. He can get a maximum of 11 points. A win tonight obviously takes him to 8. He would overtake Rocky B and Mark Henry into that 4th seed, forcing them into a tiebreaker situation, which I believe that the Beast currently owns. For El Grande Americano, we haven't actually discussed him just yet, but we can kind of do so. Well, mathematically, he's currently on 3 points. Mathematically, the maximum amount of points he can get is 9. Now, mathematically, 9 is still a total amount of points to qualify. But let's just run down the card of who he has to face. His round 6 matchup is against an already qualified Shawn Michaels. So that's a yikes matchup. Then he has to face John Cena. That's probably a big elimination battle. If Cena wins, he probably gets top 5. In fact, there's a lot of interesting matchups that are happening in this Gold League. Cena has to face Cody Rhodes. Rhodes already qualified. Michael's not qualified just yet. He needs a win. Purely because Cena can reach 11. Same with Ospreay. Same for Abyss. He's also not qualified. The only star that's made it is Rhodes, who's pretty nice. Sitting perfect on 15. He can finish on a nice, perfect 21. Just looking at Rhodes' 2 matches left in this division. He faces off against John Cena, as we say. And his last matchup in the tournament, well, it's against Brock Lesnar. So there's potential here for Cena and Lesnar to be eliminated at the hands of the American Nightmare. Action right now on this match, and Lesnar bringing Ospreay to Suplex City early. Catch and release there. Beautifully executed onto the current Emerald Champion. It's also interesting that the Emerald Champion's not in the Green League. For some reason, we switched the leagues around and made the Green League a Women's League. And also the Teal League a Women's League. Why? I don't know. I was feeling epic when I made the divisions, though. I don't mean me. IPW management. Anyway, I'm not Mr. McMahon. I'm not a commentator who also is a booker. Haha. My actual app just sneaks in from time to time when doing this, you know. I can do my fake Aussie laugh. Haha. Oh, my. It's a bonza. A bonza night. Yeah, it's a little bit cringe, you know. Anyway, we focus back in. Matchup on your screens. Ospreay and Lesnar in dire need of 3 points. Splitting it is not an option for these two. Lesnar taking Ospreay all the way to Suplex City. Biatch drops him on his head several times over, 3 times over to be exact. And now hooks the champ up, takes him up top, but cannot send him on a little F5 journey. And Ospreay gonna counter. Hooks up the legs. Steps through for a little Styles clash. Down goes Lesnar. 1. And a quick kick out there by the Beast. Scaves off the danger. But the danger still persists. Ospreay ascending. Looking to fly. And a little sky twister press onto Lesnar. Down for the cover. It gets a 2. The Beast able to kick out. Kick out with some authority there. Ospreay not done. As we, for some reason, take the camera up. There we go. Focus it back in on the champion, who's pulled out the gun, looking to behead the Beast. Clean off, but no. The blade misses. Ospreay fails to connect on the hidden blade. And now going to fall to the mercy of the Beast, who's ready to send him back to Suplex City. And it's a nice long old flight that Ospreay has to endure if he gets taken now once again. And the Beast knows it, but he's been busted open. Ospreay, he's bringing it to the Beast now. The champ, he wants to make his spot at the showdown more comfy. He wants to get there. He fails to connect, though. And the Beast's going to happily send him into the barricade. Fired up Lesnar. Has Ospreay in trouble. The Beast, though, he cannot capitalize. Ripcords through into a Spanish fly. Ospreay finding his mark. The champ returns the Beast to the ring. He wants to get it done in the ring. Reach the maximum amount of points. Sure, flying's not his forte on that springboard, but he's still a persistent champion. Combo comes through. Hooks up the leg, but there's the body shot from Brock. And Lesnar hooks the arm. He's got it in tight. It's a Kimura. Ospreay might be forced to tap here. A referee, Miss Gale, getting a close look up at Lesnar's submission. And looking at her face, she's enjoying every moment of it. As the Beast, he's got Ospreay hooked up. Ospreay fights back. Double underhooks locked in. Takes Lesnar up top for a little storm breaker. Ospreay hits big onto Lesnar. Crawls into the cover. Drapes the arm over for the 1, 2, 3. The champ gets 3 over the Beast. And that's a massive victory for Ospreay. Keeps him in the running. Keeps him also in a nice position. 8 points to 9. Puts him in 4th seed. He's now reliant on a couple of other matches going his way. Namely, a matchup tomorrow night. He's hoping for a little bit of monster victory over Michael Henry, keeping the world's strongest man at bay. He's also hoping for Rhodes to be victorious against Cena. But that's all circumstantial. Because right now, Ospreay not locked, but in a good place to be. Speaking of locking, we could see eliminations and locking in happening right now in your main event. It's Lyra Valkyria versus Utami Hayashishita. As a Red Queen, ironically, who should be in the pink division, because that's the closest color to red. Why don't we just switch them divisions around? Give the green division over to the men, give the pink division back to the women. That would make so much sense, but no, not meant to be. Instead, we have to endure my stupid brain, who's for some reason really committed to the bit of going full Aussie. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Oi, oi, oi. Also, congratulations to Samuel Zane on winning the Undisputed WWE Championship. Massive achievement there for him. But, yeah, let's focus in. Head on for this, your main event. The Queen, the Red Queen, I should say. We had the Queen earlier. Taking on Lyra Valkyria. And I don't know how to do the woos in this voice. Whoa. 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 Woo. Woo. Well, enough stupid wooing out the way. Let's talk Lyra Valkyria. Big night for her.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring
A win would take her to 11 points. That would lock her into the showdown. A monumental achievement after last year's run, where she didn't actually make it to the live event. She finished on 10 points. She was the 5th best star last year. Obviously, it was the top 4 to make it to the showdown last year. Win tonight would beat her 10-point record. But to get there, you've got to go through the best in this division. The current champ, the big dog of the women's division on primetime. She
Her opponent, representing the Queens from Japan, the undisputed Women's World Television Champion, the Queen.
Utami Hayashishita, one of the most formidable foes to face in this tournament. And I'm realizing I'm turning into, you know who I fucking am? What's his name? Now You See Me Too. Daniel Radcliffe's father in that film. He plays a lot of gangsters types. I don't know his fucking name. I'm gonna do a little Google ski just to find out who I'm referencing. It's gonna be interesting watching this one back. I have to feel. Anyway, win tonight for the Red Queen. She stays in the hunt for the top spot. A loss would mathematically give Liv Morgan first seed in this division. No one else is close enough. Actually, I told a lie. It wouldn't. Actually, no, it would. Because Bailey lost to Liv. Mathematically, if Utami loses tonight, Liv Morgan is your first seed out of the green division. The only star who is locked in to the live event. And making it to this third round automatically. And that's why Utami needs to win this matchup. Obviously, if Liv wins her round 7 and 6 matchups, then there's no hope. No one makes it other than her to the first seed, but yeah. A lot of situations. McCain. John McCain. Isn't it? Michael Caine. There we go. I got the name of it. I just thought of it without even Googling the flipping film. There we go. I'm Michael Caine. Why? Anyway, I'll go back to my Aussie voice. There we go. Focusing back on this matchup. Utami punches to the belly. Lyra forced to break the hold. And now, the Red Queen looking to strike. Fisherman's Buster spikes the head of Lyra into the canvas. That's a Lyra finisher as well. Valkyria looks to fly. Cannot soar like a bird. Instead, gets trapped in suplex. Massive explosion there from Utami. As a Red Queen, he's looking very deadly. This is the sort of Utami you want as your champion. This killer instinct. This divine sort of power. Lyra, She's struggling here. Caught. Not going to get Germaned. Instead, brings down the Red Queen. And it's Lyra's turn for a Fisherman's Buster. I can't really do Buster in the Aussie voice, but we'll give it a try. Exploder attempted for Lyra. Instead, caught. Rolled up. Gale slow to the camp, but she is going to can it. Lyra kicks out at 1. Tommy's punch evaded. Lyra's caught with a lariat. I think might have been looking to Fineman's carry Utami up for Nightwing. Not going to get that. Instead, a spinning heel kick. Straight out of Lyra's playbook. She drops the champ. Good 2 count there. Obviously now Valkyria drafted over to Breakdown after a formidable run on primetime. Top threat there. She got one of the last defenses against Fallon Henley before the draft split, which was, it was actually the night of Utami Fallon reaching 1 year, but right now into that torture rack bomb, that Argentine backbreaker bomb. Utami with the 3. That's gonna do it. And that makes this division still competitive. Utami's still in the hunt for the top seed. Momo's still in the hunt for making qualification. Same with Laney and Alexa. They can still make it. But yeah, tonight done and dusted after a quick job here for Utami in the main event. I think that's the first time we've seen the Argentine bomb actually come through and work out well for the Red Queen. She's gone for the hijack bomb a lot, but that's not worked either. Finally, she gets the job done. Big win here for Utami Hayashishia in her second to last bat in this tournament. We'll see how she fares at live event, but she does keep her chances of making it as top seed alive. Now, what I do know is the top 2 is kind of guaranteed. It's either Utami or Liv. No one can catch either of them. Well, I tell a lie, Bailey can. Fuck. Top 2's not confirmed yet, boys. What am I doing? If Bailey loses, then top 2's qualified. It's confirmed. And we won't have to wait long for Bailey. She competes on Tuesday night. But Monday night, night 22, week number 4 of the tournament begins. And it's a downright dirty night. Mark Henry Abyss. Matchup that's got stakes for qualification. Ospreay really reliant on an Abyss win there to start the night off. Then we go straight over to the Teal League. Carnage can happen. Both ladies stuck on 9 points. A draw would be pandemonium, as it would take them to 10, tie them with Flair at the pinnacle of that division. A win for any of them would lock them into the live event. I think. Actually, I don't know. I don't think it does, actually. Lastly, well, your K-main event. It's Lainey Reed versus Julia. Do or die for Lainey. If she loses, she's out of contention for the showdown. Julia, qualification to the live event. She really wants that beautiful target. And I also realized that Julia can also make it into top 2. I'm a fucking idiot. But yeah, qualification for the beautiful madness on the line in UK main. Leaving your main event. It's Gunther versus Rollins. And that, from my understanding, also has high stakes on it. that could potentially lock a couple stars in this division. But yeah, we'll have to see how that shapes up. Night 22. It's looking explosive. Looking very aggressive. And I, for one, won't be speaking in an Aussie accent all night again. Anyway, I'll see you later, alligators. Peace out. What is wrong with me?